We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on the Miami Dolphins defense, who played in one of the weirdest games I've ever seen a defensive play because they were on the field the entire game, but only gave up 17 points to probably the best all-around offense in the NFL. And it wasn't always pretty, but they were in their bend but don't break fashion. Overall, they played with resilience, played very, very physical, showed great competitive toughness throughout the game. That's what you want to see from your defense. And it was honestly one of the craziest games I've ever seen the Dolphins play, especially those back-to-back going from this game and the Ravens game previous week. So yeah, let's get right into this one. This is the first drive of the game. This is probably one of the only positive plays. The Bills kind of drove down the field, scored pretty quickly. But we got Kohu in the slot, Dolphins in cover one. I got to show some love to Cater Kohu. He played 70% of the snaps, which is definitely an upgrade for him. So like to see that. He gave up one big catch in man-to-man, but other than that, he looked pretty good. But good job just recognizing the screen, seeing that his guy that is going to block out on Howard comes off of his eyes off of that. So just pretty high-level football IQ play. I believe Howard gets called for a weak personal foul penalty, honestly, for throwing Diggs half a second after they blew the whistle. But just good job recognizing this. Just a very scrappy play. He's very physical, not the biggest guy, but he just is very smart, understands, and he's very willing to tackle, makes a big, strong tackle here. And then we get called for a 15-yard penalty, and they end up scoring. But I like the play from Kohu. It just shows what he's capable, especially in the slot. And he's just overall a very high football IQ player. Dolphins really tried to go for the cover zero all game, and it just didn't work against Josh Allen. He was just picking the defense apart, getting the ball out quickly. Ball wasn't getting knocked down. That's the nature of the defense. Sometimes you're going to give up big plays, these quick dip and dunk passes, or sometimes you're going to get the big sack like the Holland sack, the turnover. But right here, this is the first touchdown allowed. Jones coming off the edge, trying to get there, but they just have the hot route to the running back. And to me, it looks like Jones is supposed to blitz and Roberts is man-to-man, but he just takes his eyes off the running back and he just has a free touchdown. No one's guarding him. So yeah, it just looks like there's a miscommunication. Roberts didn't know he was in charge of the running back. They slide to the right, so Jones is supposed to blitz. Once the center declares to the right here, the whole line slides to the right, then Jones is supposed to blitz. He's the end man of line scrimmage. Roberts, it's cover zero, so either he would be blitzing or he has someone in man and he's not blitzing, so he's supposed to be responsible for Singletary, and they get the free touchdown. And that's how it is sometimes. These guys are going to get the ball out quickly. Allen makes a very good read. When this is a hot read. Once you see everyone blitzing, more blitzers than they can block, get back, gain as much depth as possible, and get the ball out quickly. And Allen does a good job getting that touchdown. So wasn't the greatest start for the Dolphins. I mean, they gave up 7 points on the first drive and then remained on the field for the majority of the game, and then only gave up 10 more points. So yeah, pretty good overall job by the defense. This is the first play of their next drive defensively. Wanted to show this because when you can able to stop the offense run on first down, get only a 1 yard gain, then you're able to get into those cover zero looks, third and long, where you can actually get home to the quarterback, where you can't just dump it off quickly to pick up the first down. And this is a good job by Baker. This was the best I've seen Jerome Baker look in quite some time. He was all over the field making tackles, takes on the center in the gap, stays disciplined, doesn't just shoot downfield. If he just shot down right here, he would have probably taken himself out of the play towards Allen, and then he probably would the center would have got a hand on him, and then Moss could have shot up the right side A gap. But he stays disciplined, takes on Morris in the hole, gets low, good leverage, good job extending, just wins this leverage battle, then stacks, sheds, and then makes the tackle for only about a 1 to 0 yard gain. So yeah, a really nice play from Baker, and then this early down stop allows the Dolphins to actually get their cover zero to work. And the next play, they run the ball again, and this is probably not the best play call from the Bills. He should have been passing the entire game, but 2 run stops, and it's just a perfect play. Watch Sealer. He's so good against the run. It's honestly ridiculous how valuable of a player Sealer is. It's takes on this low leverage, squares up, gets hands into chest, and once he's in complete control of the alignment, he's fully extends, gets his eyes into the backfield. He's maintaining his gap here. Now uses the left arm to keep him at a distance, using the long arm, just in complete control of his gap. Moss comes right into him, and then he sheds. creates that space to get this tackle, and then now it's 3rd and long, and the next play is the big turnover. Like, apparently before this game, the Bills hadn't had like a 3rd in like over 10 yards until this game. This one was 3rd and 8, but like later in the game, they got him into 3rd and longs, and this is how you win with your coverage 0. The Bills have to hold in the ball for a tick longer, can't get it out right away, and Holland gets the big strip sack. I broke this down more in depth in my Holland video yesterday, so I won't spend too much time on it, but just the blitz off the edge, love the communication, biggest thing from Holland, love the leadership he's bringing, and he's also a good blitzer. Him and Jones, maybe the best blitzing duo in the league. They do it a lot, and this both coming off the edge. Also look at Jones, absolutely destroy the tight end. And then they get the big sack. And Melvin Ingram, I'm going to have a breakdown on Ingram tomorrow, but always in the right place at the right time, apparently, because he's got both of the fumble recoveries off the strip sack. So just a big time play from Holland. All pro potential if he keeps it up and keeps playing the way he is and improves. I've showed a lot of Kidder Kohu's positive plays over the past few weeks, and there hasn't been many negatives. This is probably the biggest one because this is 2nd and long. But the Dolphins they kind of messed up here. I think this is more of a schematic. They go to cover 1 in 2nd and 19, and Kohu doesn't really get any help on this play based on the route. Holland can't get there in time to help over the top just based on, running this deep over route. And it's versus McKenzie, who's a very quick wide receiver, and he's not even in that bad positioning reacting to this. He's like playing outside leverage, allows the inside release, and he's like a step behind, and Allen just makes a perfect throw. Sometimes you can't beat a perfect throw even with decent coverage, because this isn't bad coverage. He's still in phase with the receiver. He's only about a half step behind him, which is fine, and then the ball is thrown perfectly. He tries to play through the hands at the catch point. He does a pretty good job timing it too, with the receiver's hands going up. He is just a hair away from making a play on it. So yeah, don't really like going into cover 1 in 2nd and 19, because they can easily avoid the middle of the field safety and then just have a big one-on-one matchup. And the blitz just wasn't really getting there. And yeah, you can't. Allen makes a big-time throw. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The Dolphins just get out-schemed on this touchdown. This is like a play where the DBs have no shot. It's just getting out-schemed. See how they have basically a 3-by-1, but the one on this side is the tight end. He's lined up in tight. So there's all this space to this side of the field here. No one out here to cover. And the Bills know the Dolphins don't really play a true cover 0 where they're just eyes on receiver, man-to-man. They're more reading the QB and then having the ball come out quickly, and they kind of pass off receivers. And they slide the line to the right. And when they slide to the right here, that means the left side is all coming downhill. Jones sees Dawson, Knox stays in the block, so he comes down too. And it just leaves all this space over here. McKenzie comes inside. You would think maybe Kohu is responsible for just man-to-man, but he's thinking that Howard and him are going to pass this off. He's trying to communicate with Howard. Look, he's pointing to it, but Diggs just runs straight up, like almost like he's just going to, like he's running also an in-breaker, but slow playing it. So Howard is late to see it, and there's no chance, even if he did see it, like to make a play on this. There's no one over here. Everyone else blitzes. Someone should have dropped back to take away this quick throw. Looks like it should have been Baker, and they just get out schemed. Like this is exactly what they wanted. The other guys are running like their dig routes, slowly setting this up, just getting the ball quickly to the drag, and like I don't know who they might say Kohu's responsible because he's technically in cover 0 man-to-man, but this is not how they play this defense. It's just a scheme. They just got out schemed basically to leave this open area. Howard probably should have been passed it off to, but there needed to be someone dropping back to try to take away the quick throwing lane, and it's just an impossible decision. Great play call by the Bills. This was one of the big stops from the Dolphins. Good play by Howard here, sticking with Diggs the entire time. Dolphins running cover 1. They get some pressure on Allen early. Really good job by Agba. Doesn't finish the sack, but forces him to leave the pocket. Everyone sticks with it, and he's forced to make a poor decision throwing across his body, and Howard, very good at the catch point. He's not going to allow these plays to happen. And Agba had a good game. He forced a holding call at 1.2, was beating the right tackle. Good job, using that club rip, getting down. He just needs to finish, but it's very difficult to sack Allen. And good job by, it looks like Sealer sticking with it, keeping the pressure, not allowing him to get out of here, make a play. Also Jones coming in, and then Howard at the catch point. Big 3rd and 10 stop. Dolphins defense was giving a bunch of yards, but still was getting them to punt like around midfield a lot of the time. So yeah, good play overall from the Dolphins defense. Dolphins playing a cover 2, which they're going to have to do against the Bengals on Thursday night, because the Bengals struggled their first 2 weeks, and the teams were running a cover 2 a lot of the time. And then last week versus the Jets, their offense looked way better, and the Jets only ran cover 2 like 1 or 2% of their defensive plays. So Dolphins definitely going to have to run too high. It's Burrow's biggest weakness of a coverage. But look at Brandon Jones here. Good, pretty smooth in his pedal, gets out of a transition, reads the corner route, trying to attack with smash. They're running smash to both sides of the field. Pretty basic concept, very common, especially to attack cover 2 with this. But Jones, ready for it, maintains good leverage relation with this receiver and shows a good break and get downhill, and then he kind of runs into his own guy right before the catch point, but I don't know if he would have caught it anyway, or he runs into the receiver a little bit. But he just has, that's the one area Brandon Jones kind of struggles with. He's not really known for his catching ability. That's more of the Holland and the Howard. But he's still a big time playmaker, especially as a blitzer. And his coverage has improved this season. He's given up some big plays in man versus tight end, but that was mostly against Mark Andrews. And that's just like most safeties get beat in that area. It's just not his strength. But looking better in zone coverage, made some plays in the flat, and then now making plays in a deep half. So like to see that improvement there. This play, a huge stop in the red zone by the Dolphins. It's 2nd and 11. These next 2 plays, holding them to a field goal, because this is them getting to 17 right here, the last time they score as an offense, and that gives the Dolphins the opportunity to score, to take the lead later in the game. Good coverage by Crossan versus Gabe Davis. This is probably the best play I've seen Crossan make since he's been a Dolphin. Stays patient, plays in perfect position, and then he catches the ball but sticks with it and makes a perfect play at the catch point. So pretty good patience, maintains his inside leverage, reads that this is going to be a fade, sticks with him step for step, and then makes a play straight through the hands to get this out here. It's tough to see from this angle. We'll go to the other one, but just really impressive play by Crossan, sticking with this. Love the competitiveness. Just fight those hands through the catch point and then get the ball out. Just a huge time play made by the Dolphins defense. Now they're into 3rd and 11. Good play by the Dolphins defense. This is a team stop on 3rd and 11. They get pressure on Allen, force a throwaway, and then everyone's covered up. Abba creating pressure on the inside from looks like Wilkins. And then look at the coverage on the back end. Everyone locked up. Good job versus the drag, the mesh concept right here. Needham not getting picked over here. Crossing in pretty good coverage. Kohu passes off Diggs to Holland at safety, so good communication there. And then you get the pressure where Allen is forced to throw it away, and just a really good play. Oh, it wasn't Wilkins on the middle. It was actually Trey Flowers. Just look at Flowers here. Toss away 75. Gets hands into chest. Push, pull, throws him to the side. Big time play from the new signing, so love to see that. Hopefully he can get more involved, get some more playing time, and get more used to the scheme, because I know he did play it in New England and Detroit, so he's pretty used to it. But big time play by the Dolphins defense. Now I had to get Kohu, another good rep in here against McKenzie and man-to-man in the motion, so in a tough position, has to reset right at the snap with his feet, has good footwork, stays square, stays patient, good balance and body lean too, reading the hips. Then he sees him commit, gets his hands hooked around the hips to then make a play at the ball at the catch point, working a hook and swat, and then ball gets overthrown. Pretty high level nuanced play. He wants to flag for holding, but he does a perfect job of not tugging, but does it to like hook around him without turning the receiver. So good play by Kohu. He's just been a stud for the Dolphins through the first 3 weeks, making plays in every single game. And then this game, he finally got his opportunity to play a majority of the snaps, and I thought he made the most of them. This drive the Dolphins made a lot of big plays to hold him to a stop here. This is where they get stopped at basically the 1 yard line. But good job by Wilkins here, shooting the gap. It's very hard to reach him when you're an offensive lineman on the backside. And another big play from Baker coming off free here. But the guard even gets a good jump. Wilkins in the one tech backside left guard on an outside zone run, or like a pin pull concept basically. And Wilkins is able to not allow him to cross his face here, gets his hands into the chest, and then works, the swim over the top. He stays square, shows play strength with him tacking the inside hip, and then gets past him. Just love how he stays square to the line of scrimmage. Great technique, and then forces him into Baker. Really good play from Wilkins to hold this for a 2 yard loss. Another big play on this drive. Broke this down in the Holland video, so we'll do it quick. Just Holland, cover 2, the instincts, the closing speed, the range he plays with, If he could have come up with the pick here, that would have been huge. There was a lot of dropped picks in this game. They were all very tough interceptions to make, like fully extended or getting hit right at the catch point, things like that. But he does a good job recognizing they're trying to throw the whole shot by Josh Allen. He's one of the quarterbacks that can really make this throw with his arm strength, and Holland just shows off the closing speed. Doesn't expect him to get there. Just another outstanding play from Javon Holland. Going to the next play, showing cover 0 again. This time, they don't let the running back just leak out. They don't actually run cover 0. They drop out of it after showing it. Phillips coming in on the blitz, but he sees Singletary sort of leaking out and in his peripheral vision, and then also sees Allen ready to throw, so he drops off of it. Good instinct play from Jalen Phillips. This is one of his best plays in the game. One of the best plays he's made this season so far. Hasn't had the opportunity to really break out, but just really high level play. Gets the hand up, almost gets another pick, but does get the deflection. So big time play from Jalen Phillips when it really mattered. Really big stop on the goal line on the read option here. Sealer gets down in a hurry and really blows this play up. Watch 92 here. Does a really good job. He's responsible for the running back, while Baker and everyone else is responsible for the quarterback on the zone read. He just gets down and blows this up. Allen sees that he has to take it. He blows this up at the catch point, takes the running back and the receiver trying to run like a split flow to the other side of the field just out of the play, and it leaves Baker and Roberts to get Allen at the point of attack right here, and they make a good strong tackle versus Josh Allen, who was hard to tackle all game. Good job working as a team here. Really good job by Roberts too, reading this. Doesn't allow the tackle to get his hands on him. Stays square as well. Gets downhill and hits him low. Stops his momentum, and they make the tackle for loss. A huge stop. This is the one where Howard kind of drops the interception. Watch him at the top of the screen. He gets picked. Diggs gets almost open here, but Howard sticks with it. Sees that Diggs flips his hips, changes direction just based on like this broken play here. And once he sees that, he thinks the ball is going to come, so he just spins his head back around. Does a really good job recovering here. This is a very high-level football IQ. He doesn't really drop these too often. It is a tough one to make low, kind of awkward hand angle with how he was diving at it. But just another big-time play by the defense. Just need to finish these, start making these into turnovers. Dolphins defense is usually really good at that, so I'm not too worried about that issue. Allen throws a pretty hard ball, so it might be tough for defenders to catch at times. But just love this bend but don't break mentality the Dolphins play with, and it really showed on this drive especially. Just going to let this play run, show this, and yeah. This one had me cackling during the game, honestly. Like, I respect Josh Allen as a player, but this is funny. Like, this was funny to see. Just because of, like, the Tua arm strength thing. And this, it doesn't have anything to do with arm strength. He just missed him. But it was kind of funny to see. But at the top of the screen, they don't, Needham and Kohu should pass this off. And Kohu actually does a really good job because he gets picked here. And he goes from getting picked to almost falling over to actually recovering instantly using that left hand to stay in position. Like, he would have actually had a chance to make a play on the slant. So actually it was a pretty impressive play from Kohu. And then Needham is just late to see it. And then Allen misses it low, so we kind of get saved there, thank God. But if they did score, there were still 2 minutes. Dolphins had timeouts, and they would have had time to possibly score. So this wouldn't have been game over if they scored right there. So many big-time plays on this drive. A couple plays before this, Holland made a big play. I broke that down in his video on Diggs on another corner route playing cover 2. This time we got Needham at the bottom of the screen. Big time play at the catch point, not giving up on this, expecting the back shoulder fade. Good job feeling Davis slowing down his route here. Just a nice feel for this play. Stays in the hip pocket. He's playing high upfield shoulder too, so he's over the top. And usually when you're in this positioning and the receiver's running vertically, you're more than likely gonna get the back shoulder. He feels Davis go for it. He turns back into the receiver and then plays his hands right at the catch point. So really big time play from Needham. You can tell everyone was pretty tired on this play after playing basically 90 snaps at this point. Big time play from Ogba in the clutchest of moments, getting this holding call which bumps them almost out of field range. The second to last play, he just gets hooked around. He just basically wins this hand fight at the point of attack versus the O lineman. Nothing too crazy here. Just keeps his chest clean and then use that left outside hand to beat him around the right and then rip underneath. Just wins, feels the leverage of the O-lineman, and then the O-lineman is forced to basically tackle him. It would have been incomplete anyways, but gets this holding call, which is huge to bump them out of field goal range. And this play just wastes, an extra few seconds, which the Bills would have needed because, as you'll see in the next play, and you probably saw it live, they were just off by a couple of seconds to basically win the game. The final play of the game, one of the clutchest plays, just basically turns into a broken play here. Get pressure, great job by Ingram. They just need to work on finishing their sacks. He gets the ball out to McKenzie, and people said McKenzie should get the ball out of bounds, but if you watch Howard here, we'll go back to the beginning. Look at Ingram win his rep here. They're working like their game here. Really good job by Phillips setting this up. Ingram gets back to the inside, times this perfectly. Phillips takes 2 people out of the play. Ingram forces Allen to get out, throw everyone else getting on him. Good work there. And then Howard. Look at Howard right here. He's this corner. He takes the angle, adjusts his angle to the outside, forcing him back to the inside to help, where Ingram ends up making the tackle. Just watch this play from start to finish. This is high-level competitive toughness from everyone. Phillips sets this up. Ingram gets the pressure. Phillips basically takes 3 people over here. Ingram gets the initial pressure, doesn't finish it. Ogba sticks with it, forces him to throw it, gets it out quickly. And then Howard just takes the outside leverage, force back inside to help. And Ingram is hustling back from almost getting the sack on Allen to make the tackle inbounds, which ices the game, finishes it off for the team. High-level play, start to finish. Like, Dolphins defense never gave up. They played with such resilience and competitive toughness. It was honestly pretty inspiring watching some of the players fight through the heat, exhaustion, the cramps. So pretty much love this team at this point. Probably the most exciting season to ever be a Dolphins fan that I've been a part of. So really looking forward to each week breaking down games, win or lose. It's just going to be exciting from start to finish. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.